In my video celebrating 800 followers, well, God, my hair is everywhere, anyway, I said the phrase 900 by Samhain, and I said Samhain because that is the more recognizable holiday for this time of year. However, that is a Celtic holiday. The Norse holiday for this time of year is generally called by English countries Winternights. It has other names, which I'm going to put here, and it is just the celebration of the changing of the seasons, as what Samhain is for the Celts would be Ostara for the Norse. And Winternights is celebrated either during the middle of October, the end of October, to synchronize it with Samhain, or during the autumn equinox, which I believe is in late September this year. It is celebrated into 3 nights, into 3 blots. The first blot is the Alpha blot, and then the Disa blot, and then a blot that I've only heard. So the Alpha blot of Winternights is effectively what it sounds like when you break the word down. It was a blot, or a sacrifice to the elves, or the entities that can be described as Nordic elves. Now this can be attested to in both a series of poems called the East Journey Verses and the Cormac Saga. And it was generally done within the farmstead. It was generally only done by family, which means the individual practices of Alpha Blot were different from family to family, even though there were some similarities, such as the rites generally being heavily done by what was effectively the matriarch of each farmstead and family. And the practices were generally done in secret. In the East Journey Verses, it shows the somewhat humorous story of a skald going through trying to find shelter during this time, and he is effectively told to go away and respect the secrecy of these rites.
But it's so many posts about Samhain, and no post at all about Alpha Blot.
I'll see what I can do to fix that. Alpha Blot is a specific ritual that happens, at the beginning of Winternights, the dates of which can be anywhere from October 29th to November 7th. I personally do it on November 7th. As the name suggests, it is a blot or a sacrifice to the elves, the Elfar. The Elfar are ascended ancestors and generally come in 2 forms, the Light Elfar and the Dark Elfar. Dark Elfar is not like an attribution to evil or maliciousness. It's more just the fact that they live underground. They actually are the inspiration of the fantasy view of dwarves. Now, what exactly happens at Alpha Blot is going to be very personal, but this was even the case historically. Members of the house had different traditions, and only members of a homestead practiced with the homestead. Offerings of beer are historically attested to, both to the Elfar and to a form of Odin. So the Disabla, again, when you break the word down, is the sacrifice to the Desir, who deserve their own video, because there's a lot in that. Primarily, these rites were done by the priestesses. However, there are recordings of kings of Sweden performing this rite, most notably King Athils of Sweden, who is recorded to have died during these rites in the Yngling Saga. These rites were generally used for protection during winter and for great harvest after the winter. Now, I'm going to start talking about a sensitive topic, so trigger warning. In both the Alpha Blot and the Disa blot, there are recordings and just facts of traditions of the ritual forced unaliving of both animals and humans for these rites. This is obviously not done in modern paganism. You can do food and alcohol. The Frey Blessing is the final night of Winternights. It is a communal festival that's seen as a continuation of the communal activities done as a group as Disa blot. Because Disa blot, there's a lot of festivals, there's usually some kind of marketplace, things like that. This is a little more of celebration festivals. There's not as many rites, but it is the recognizing of Frey, Hundri, the other gods of autumn, and, harvest flocks, and thanking them, and recognizing that it is the metaphorical passing of the torch to the gods, goddesses, and spirits of winter, such as Uller, Skadi, sometimes Hel, Hodr, and Kari and Snare, to name a few.